Need to get a hat. Gonna start in a minute. First, I want you to keep an eye on my cat. Just want to see it. Keep an eye on the cat. She's sleeping. I have to adjust my camera before I begin. Get away that. Let me see that autofocus. Yeah, okay, and a little bit of the color intensity. Let's see how that works. Okay, just give me a minute. I have a few things to do, so I'm not prepared like usual. Okay, just give me 1 minute to catch up with myself. Okay. And the question is, where do we begin? Where do we begin? All alone? I don't know if I want to leave out. So until somebody shows up, I'm going to work on numbers. And I'm also going to work on some words and what they tell you in your mind. Now, I'm not 15 years old, so I don't know everything that's gone on in the mind of a 15-year-old or a 10-year-old. I don't know what a 20-year-old or a 30-year-old see. I know what I grew up with when I was 15, when I was 20, when I was 25. Oh, when I was 21. Oh, when I was 18. Oh, when I was 13. Oh my God, all these numbers. I had my first birthday. Then I had my 10th birthday. And then I became a teen. See, the female doesn't become a teen until 13, but she finishes her womanhood at 12. So what happened between 12 and 13? Because actually the 13th year of a finished womanhood, right, comes into the act of where the female is finished 12 years starting 0-1. So the 12 is a completion of a year because you started 0-1. If we would work backwards from 12, our first birthday would be 11. So just let me flip the camera upside down. So if your your bat mitzvah, okay, is over here, let's say 156 moons. We can also look at this as 116 seconds. We can look at it as moons. We can look at it as any wherever we want to put it, but also look that it's 1 and 2. These two come together or these two come together. Either it's 66 the passage, and guess what? Woman is 66, and it runs through gate 8 according to the Venus cube. Aleph cube, we're going to go 1-6. We're going to use a single cube for Aleph. We're going to use a double cube, right, for Beit. Or what I mean is 2 cubes or 1 cube. So Aleph, right, Aleph is 21, but Bet, okay, is going to be 42, and Bet is going to be 42. You see, with Bet, in order to get both sides of Bet, right, we have to turn her this way and this way. In order to get all the sides with Aleph, it's the same thing all the way around. So do we count this 4 ways?
because this way is going to repeat. But how many times before we create a cycle? 1, 2, 3 cycle? Well, according to numbers, 1 plus 2 plus 3 equals to 6. When you add 4, you have completed the cycle of 1 plus 0 equals to 1. So we're going to use 1 cube and then 2 cubes, and then we're going to work from there. How many cubes should we have? Should we have 4 of each? This one will show me all the directions with 2, this one with 1. 84, 94, 104, 105. We have 84 with Venus. The numeric value for Venus is 81. Yes, it's a little, what's it called? There's an uneven balance and a truth at the same time. So what we're going to go to next is we're going to talk about the 2 and 6 will give me the queen. 1 and 7 will give me the gate. 1 and 6, 7, 1 and 1, 2. Also, when we're talking about that, we're going to have to go back a page. And when we add up 1 through 15, the letter O, it equals to the game of pool. And it equals to what is 120. When we add up 1 over to 20, it equals to 210. Now we can create a whole bunch of equations of what's missing. What have we done here? What have we done? What's the difference? If it was in time, 2 minutes and 10 seconds, would there be 90 seconds in between? Or would this be, 2 minutes and 10 seconds to 1 minute and 20 seconds? Let me not go into that, right? Just 1 second. I'm stretching this out a little too short. The other thing about this are these 2 cubes, because we only have 5 fingers. So here, I'm going to count 1 to 5. And here, I'm going to count 2 to 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The total is 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The total is 15. The letters are OT. The reverse alphabet for these 2 letters is L and the letter G. Is it lot? Is it G-lot? Is it glot? Is there a toll in the gateway? This becomes 6 and 2. The end result of these added up is 6 and 2, representing the queen, the card, the game, the dog, God. Gates of Omega divide. Broken gates of Omega divide. So let me see if I can backtrack to where I was. So we're going to go with 12. So since we haven't reached the teenage, right? Because it's not 11-teen. It's not 11-teen. It's not 11-teen. It's not at the gateway. When you add up 1 through 12, it equals to a total of 100. It equals to a total of 78. Sorry, almost got that wrong. When it's the male, you add up to 13, it equals to 91. And this is indirect and directly connected to the deck of cards, because we will have the king and the queen. And the king, the numeric value is 41 and 62. The total is 103. JC, how about maybe Jack of clubs? Jesus Christ, I don't know. It's up to you. We can put anything. They can be just initials. But at the same time, we get that 13. Here we end up with 6. Here we end up with 1. Between the male and the female, we end up in the half-life. But at 13, you become a teen. That means the female comes into what is AI, from GH to AI, from GH to AI. And then the L and the M that comes together. So I'm going to have to take a look and see what we can do with these letters. The totals are 8, 8, 16, 25, 35, 30, 25, 25, 17, and 8. Wow. 887. I know that this is purple. It's also made up of different colors and hot and cold that makes red and blue. It's also Pegasus, which is an NGC 7286. The constellation. It's got to be, that's the area. You got to take a look at that. This 7 times 8, 7 plus 8, will equal to 56 and 15, equaling to 71. What is 11-teen? 11-teen is not 11-teen. It's supposed to be TH, not a teen. Why not the teen? Why is it not the ET and the EN? Birth in the second gate, in the sun, the female world, into the female world, into the sun, DNA, Y. This letter are both created by 1 and 2, which are both created from 1 and 1. 1 times 1, 1 plus 1 will create 1 and 2, or 2 and 1. That will create 5. 20 is now created when 2 is no longer a 2, but it's now taken up both worlds. It's a 4. So now it becomes 1 times 4, 1 plus 4, which equals to 20 and equals to 09. So your 20 comes out over here. It becomes the IT system, the letter I and the letter T. The invert to that connection of where it came from, the half space, okay, is 1 times, becomes the 1 times 2, 1 plus 2 equals to 3, equals to 2, equals to what is the 5? To what is the 1 times 4, 1 plus 4, equaling to the 5, to the 2 times 2 plus 2, 2 times 2, equaling to both the 4. 1 times 1, 1 plus 1 equals to what is the 3. So the IT system comes into where you can also look at this as 1/2 and 1/4. And 1/2 of 1/4 is what amount? What is it? What amount is 1/2 of 1/4? Somewhere in between here, we would have to be coming up with the 1/3, which gives you that, what they call, let's say, vibration or hertz of 432 or 234. 2 by 2 by 3 by 2, moon babies. Yeah, we are definitely moon babies. If I can get this whole thing in order and better understood, everybody will see that in the words that we speak on an everyday life, every sentence, every object that we touch, every word that we say, every game that we play is just re-explaining everything about the creation or the hidden secrets or the unknown truth of the fact, because this has a name. We gave it the name. We said it was a square. And from the square, we said it was a cube. And in order to have a cube, you have to have, I guess, 6 sides. But in actuality, this is not what a cube is. A cube is like the whole package together, because it comes in slivers. You have to put everything together. So there's more than one cube here. And Rubik's Cube shows you that it comes in 3 parts. It's linear, vertical, linear, right? In its own dimensions. I don't know if I can explain it as well as I can see it. I need to get something to drink. You're going to be back in 1 minute. And less than a minute. And I understood this through this one part. What I just did, the 4, 3, 2, because everything rounds itself out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a reason for it. It does something mathematically. If you want, I'm going to show you. And the hockey puck. Each one of these is like a hockey puck. You need 3 of them. Now, if the hockey puck was standing up, here you can't tell. But if this was linear, you can see it in the hockey puck. Hockey has 3 periods. The periods are 3 times 20 for the 60 minutes. If we wanted to go to football, it would be 4 times 15. Now, if we're going times 4, we're going to go 4 times 90.
But if we went times 3, we're going to go 3 times 120. So now we have a base for its own reality. That's its reality. What is 360 degrees and what is 360 degrees? Now we have to bring all these numbers together. So we bring them all together. We bring everything together. We have 4 sides, and we have 2 sides for the pole. The band is around 4, and the pole is around 2, and that's your 6. Where's your 3? It turns 1 way, 2 ways, and 3 ways, just like NASA. It turns at 3. It turns at 3. Turns at 3, 3, 3, 3. It turns at 3, 3, 3, and then it turns at 3, 3, 3. So you're turning 3, 3, 3, 8 around 1 times 3 plus 1, the area it's on. So it's 24. Did I get that right? Top side, 8. So it's 24. Now the side is 12. So it's 24 and 36 when you turn the first one. 24 and 36 when you turn Rubik's. 3 times 8 equals 24 plus the 8 on the side that it is. And you turn this 3 times 12 equals to 36 plus the 12 for the side that it's on. And that's going to connect you to basketball now. That's this one here, right? 3 times. Now you have to have 3 different rows. So now you have to multiply this equation times 3. I'm going to show you this. This is where I get sort of a little mixed up. I'm not sure where to write all my numbers. Now that you did it times 3 because of the 3 rows, you have to do it times 3 the other way and times 3 the other way because there's 2 other ways. So you have to go times 3, then times 3, and then times 3. Did I get that right? Did I do the whole number? I want to get this math right. Let me just do this again. Let me just do this again. So I do this one. This one, I have to get the base of 4 by 8, 32. And then what's on the side around here, okay, it has to be 48. Now I got to do that 3 different times on the dice. So 32 times, did I get that right? Let me see. Yes, times 3 equals to 96. And then 48 times 3 equals to 120 and 144. So it's perfect. It's in rotation. This is if I understood the math and I did the math properly. Okay. Teen Dream. I'm going to get to that. And you wrote that at 444, right? So what happens is we have the 8, we have the 12. In order for this color to get here, I have to turn it once. I have to turn it. Let me see. Let me start again. It's here. I turn it once. I turn it twice. I turn it 3 times and then back to the beginning. Once, twice, 3 times and back to the beginning. So the amount of time it's going to spend in each section. And then as I do this one, right, I have that one. Now I turn it this way. First I turn it this way. Then I turn it this way. Then I turn it this way. Those are the 3 ways it turns. Now there's 3 different rows. So if I turn this one, it's 3 times. I now turn this one once. Now I turn this, Now I turn this one 3 times. And now I turn this combination on the next row once. So I have to do this 4 times in order for this to turn all the way around. So I do this 4 times. Well, this one turns 4 times. This is 1. This one turns another 4 times. This one turns 1. So it's 4 by 4, 16. And now we have to do the bottom row. So where we turn the bottom row 4 times, and then I turn the center one 1. Then I turn this 4 times, and then I turn the center row 1. And then I turn this 4 times, and then I turn the center row 1, and now I turn the top row. Now I turn this 4 times, and then I turn the center 1. And then I turn this 4 times,
and then I turn to center 1. And then I turn this 4 times to center 1, and then I turn the top side. And you go do it again. So
I'm not sure of that math yet, but I'm going to do that in another video. So let me see if I got that right. Not only that, I'm not going to count this little red space over here. I'm not going to count the centers, because the actuality is this spins around itself. The center one never moves. They all move, but the center one never moves. When one center doesn't move, the other centers do move, but they're not the center. They're not this center. They're the center of the side row. They never become the true center. True centers are here. This is the center of row 1 and row 3. Row 1 and row 3 and all the extremity centers, okay, never become number 1. Never. 1 is 1, and these are 2. The corners are 3. Okay, let me
get on to the next step. Over here. So we have this base, and then we have to do that mathematics, and I'm hoping somebody can do it for me, but I know I'm going to have to do it myself. Step number 2, what I want to talk about is the placements of numbers. And we're going to talk about number 2 first. What happens with number 2? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. What I did here is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, reduce it down to 1. Now keep going by 2s until you get to 11. So 10 and 11 split over here. So there's an understanding between 10 and 11. And then after this 2, it becomes 4. 8, and then it becomes 4, 6, 8, and then it'll become 10 again. So we're actually running our numbers, okay, let me see this, between 10 and 11 and 10. I go from here to here, then this here is actually over here. So I'm going now 20 over to 10, back to 20. So if we're talking 2020 or 1011, this is the reason, because the second time we come around, I come around at 11 when I start over again, but it's my 20th number. My 11th number, my 10th number is here. Do you follow me? It's 10 numbers. The number total is 11, but the total of numbers added is 20. Now, when I use 2 to the second, it's when it in its own dimension, I have 11, 20, 29. These are all 11, 20, 2 and 9, 11, 3 and 8, 11, 4 and 7, 11, 5 and 6, 11. The division in the 2 house comes right over here. So this will be A, B, B, D, E, F, G, and H. So the gateway, 7 and 8, will divide over here in the house of bet. When you get the 4 and 7, we now start to reflect. I becomes the same as F, 6 and 9 in rotation. Then J, which is the complete rotation, JJ, when everything starts over, you come to number 38. And that's when the house starts over in the house of bet, 38. Over here. So we have between E and J, je. It's almost like I think I'm looking at I am. And your numbers are, I'm just trying to think. Then there's the math that goes along with it. This is going to create 3. This will remain as 2. This will remain as 2. But this one will remain as 29. This one will remain as 35. This one will remain as 39. This one will become 41. This one will become 41. And the same thing. So we end up with 2, 3, 2, 2, 8, 3, 5, 5. So now if we're talking freedom 55 or the sky is divided over here. And it shows me the gates and the heavens, the 7 card and the 8 card, if you take a look at them. This is the same setup, as well as the queen, numeric value 62, being the 12th card, right? And it's not 12-teen, which would be 44 and 78, 122 times 3 for formation, 366 days, or 3 through 66, the roadways. I'm just trying to see if I can get this done properly. I like to call this the fox, this little design here. Anyways, let me get on, and I'm losing myself in this. So this is your base formation, and one of the reasons it's your base formation is that when you get to I, and it's also in the game of pool, the yellow ball, you get to the other side of 1. You do not actually start anything until you arrive here. According to this, nothing begins until you arrive when these two are inside of each other, because it always is, regardless. 1 to the center of all of the heavens, and the heavens are 3 and 3. The heavens are 3 and 3, for you have the 1 in the center, you have the 2 on the outside. Let's call this the Earth moon. Let's call these the 2 moons of Mars. The Earth moon is on the inner heart. So when it spins, right, its deliverance is between 3 and 3. Now, even though it's between 3 and 3, these two or these two are closed. They bar the 12 and they're closing one set. And the reason for that, I mean, that the way I see it is because of this. It's either this way and it's an open pass, or it's this way and it's an open pass this way. So it's either the 4-5-6 open pass or the 2-5-8 open pass. This cube will never cover those areas other than on the 6. There's 5 sides. There's 5 sides. 5 times 4 areas not covered, 20. And then there's 1 side times 2 areas not covered. Sorry, 22. This will be Fox. This will be the sun. This will be the breath. This is also the Intel system, I call it. The IT system, 5 and 4. The quarter house, Earth. Earth is known as the quarter house, and Mars is playing in the quarter house, being Mars number 51. Being that to get 60 seconds on the clock, we have to multiply it by 4. Being that we need to get 6 times 15 equal to a 90-degree angle. Now, this is a little complicated. I hope I can explain this. That I'm just trying to see which way I'm supposed to put these. I'm not really sure if that's the way the design goes, but our house is split up right over here. 225, 225, and 135 is 360 by 216 on one side and 234 on the other side. Okay, now let me see that I don't lose myself where I am. Wow. Yeah, I was talking about this. Let me get back to that. Too many pieces going on. The reason I say the sun house is because the word sun is 54, the word fox is 45, and to create it, it's 9 by 6 and 9 by 5. And I'm going to use multiplication to show you that in its individuality, the X or the multiple sign can show up in one box or a cell. The addition side is going to show me the split between 4 houses, almost like saying I'm controlling the gear system. So when we do this system here becomes 33, and I can connect it this way, right? The system, which shows me the half-life, the half area on the cross. This one is 22. And the only way it can be split up is like that. It can be split up into 8, this one. This one can be split up as so, and as so. You can also look at it like this. Like this. Noted that Earth is number 52 and Mars is 51. So now I denote Mars as 22 and I denote Earth as 33. The command of the Christ. 22 is go, 22 is ape. Remember, if you're using go, it's 2 letters, 54 reverse. We're talking about the sun. We're talking about green on go. But where are we going from? We're going from the stop. So if we're going from the stop, we're going from the octagon. Now I'm all over the place, right? We were talking about the queen, the 12. We were talking, right. So what happens is I count all these numbers. And the question is, I start over here where the numbers start to go over. So they start over at 8. That would be the 8 ball, right? Now we start to reverse our count. 1, 2, 3, and then 101, we reverse our count. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 29. 5 times 4, 5 plus 4. Did I do that in here? Equals to 29. So we come back into the number. Birth in the house of Venus, the 29th day in February. I hope I explained that right. But anyways, I should just stick to the numbers for now. I went all over the place with that. Or I should go back and explain how we get the stop with the octagon. First of all, in stop, the ST always reverts to one thing. First, 21st, 31st, 41st, 51st, 61st, 71st, 81st is Venus, and it's square, but it's different. Because once you hit 80, you're going 4 times 20. If you're going 4 times 20, we're starting here. We're starting over here. 4 times 20. Because in French, they say 80 as 4 times 20. When they say 81, they do not say this. They removed DNA. When they talk in the 80s or at the beginning of the 80s, they remove the DNA. The reason for that is E.T. in French, right? I mean, they were making a movie of an alien, right? You think they were talking in English? No. When a French person goes down to an English-speaking place, they call it an alien. That's the way I've seen it here. The people crossing the border of different languages, they call them the aliens. So when I hear the word ET come into a word or AT, it now becomes alien. So I'm now going to switch the language. It could be that way. It doesn't have to be, but it actually, in one manner, it is, because ET in French is and are the letters D, N, A. Hey, Danny boy. Hey, Danny boy. So now we're going to go into the words Dan. Who is Dan? Now, Dan, you can remove the D, right? As it's the primary mirror creation ABCD Dalet, and replace it with an M. So instead of having DNA or Dan, you now have man. And man reverse is Nam. And when you want to say somebody's name, and if you say Vietnam, you're actually, for me, saying in French, the life of man. Okay, now I'm going to get into far out, and let me go over my hot water. 1 second. Let me get the hot water. I'm you know what? When I have a lot of information or what I think is information, I start to lose myself. But whoa. Okay. 2 times 2 is 4, by 3 is 12, by 2 is 24. Right. And then we end up with the day. 4 times 3 is 12. The vibration. 2, 4, 3, 2. 4 by 3 is 12. Times 2 is 24. 24 of the 9 birth.
4 plus 3 plus 2 equals to 9. And 2, 3, 4, I'm going to show you how, I may have said this already. Okay, oh, I like this, shell, chevron. Absolutely. I don't know why you said that, but this was part of my, one of my first pieces. And chevron is the goat. The chev in French, chev is a goat. It also means to move it, move it, move it. Ron is gold, north-south gold, life, C and H come together. Here's C and H. Although 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. So if this is 3, 2, 1, and I jump over to this hand, do I start here first? Because I started here first. So we have to understand also the counting. Chevrons. Oh, yes. Are you talking about chevrons on the highway? Hold on, I have to back up and move further. Life gold. Chevrons on the highway. A chevron on the highway is how much distance you should be between each car, and apparently it's 2 or 3 chevrons. 2436. 36. Okay, 36 can also be noted as Mars if you want to use it in that context, or one part of Mars. And the reason for that is it's 1.5 times the day. The other thing about that is that 24 happens to be that gateway to the, I'd like to call it the black cat, the electrical cat. And the reason for that is cat, which is also 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. Cat is 3, 1, 2. So that would be 104. So now we know 104, 10, 4 communication. 104 divided by 4 is 26, divided by 1 is 13. Now, 13 is now going to create AI. 1 times 3, 1 plus 3, 3 and 4. From alternate current to direct current. 4 times 3 is 12. 4 plus 3 is 7. The total is 19, or AI in the S letter. The first half, okay, of AI is 1 through 18. The 18th letter, 1 plus 8 equals to 9, AI. When you add them together, you get the S, and that is AI. So the entire split alphabet of 360 degrees. Okay, sorry, not split alphabet. The split of numbers, 18, which is 1.5 times a dozen, noted that a ruler is 12 inches, making it 1.5 times. And noted that 30 inches or 36 inches, which is now 18, is into a yardstick. So really, we're not talking about what is 18 and we need a ruler and a half. We're actually looking at a yardstick, which is 36 inches. Working that halfway is 18. So you spin the yardstick around. 18 is the center heart, the plug-in area to the area space in which the hexagon is located, and the numeric value for the area is 111 plus 14 and or plus 23 or plus both, and the total is now 148, or the road to Hull. And also stands for the sun in matrix, in the heavens of matrix, altered current. Did I get that right? 148. No, not altered current. 148. 148. In rotation of the sun. I'm just in the DNA. 14 together is DNA. The 14th letter is N. The first letter is A. The second letter, where was I? Okay. The DNA, right. We were also talking about Dan. Remember Dan? DNA, Dan? And DNA is number 19. AI again. Now, what's in between 1 and 9? It's pretty simple. Let me write this down. I don't want to lose myself. You know, I'm just trying to untwist everything, you know, that they put together. So in between AI is, which is actually, let me just write this down. I don't want to talk. So here's the 18th letter, but we're going to go 1 plus 8 is equal to 9. The total of 1 and 18 equals to what is 19?
So we can use it maybe as bookends between 1 and 9, or should we use it as this? Or should we do this? The reason for that is that if I'm starting in the center and I'm counting to 9, the center one of 9 is 5. If I'm looking in a cube, I know area 5 is right over here, of total of 9 areas. So I put it 9. Or I can put it that this is the 5 area, you're going out to 1. Or I can put it as the 1 area, and I'm going out to 5. Are they the same? Well, if you want, then now I don't know if I lost. You're going to have to ask me questions, but let me just explain this. Are we lost? Well, if we say M, D, C, L, X, V, if I show you this, would you think of gold, a golden man? French for gold. 33 and 28 equals to 61. Also noted to be the same numeric value for church. The cycle, command and create in rotation of yin yang in the sun. But this is 1,000. This is 500. This is 100. This is 50. This one over here is 10, 5, and 1. And what's ironic about this is that if I would count it down to a single digit, all I would get is this, to a single digit. When I add it all up together, I get 1666, which is the equivalent value of 5 divided by 3. So we're right into the core. And it doesn't matter which core. There's 6 of them, 3 reverse cores. Now, when we do this, the ironic thing is 9876,432. 9876,432. 9876,432. Now I will explain it. I'm going to explain it in a minute after I go over I just want to go over the rest of the questions so I don't get lost. Yes, there's really no wrong answer except making mistakes while in the explanation, or it has to also be discussed, and then sometimes things don't change, but the understanding is better understood because of a new equation that has come about. The queen is the 12th card. When you add up 1 through 12, right, it equals to 78. But if you put 12 as 1 and 2 is 3, you add 1 up to 3, you get 6. Now, if you do the multiplication and addition of 12 in the first dimension, okay, 1 times 2, 1 plus 2, you add it up, you end up with 5. So now you add 1 to 5. The 1 to 5 added up and equals to 15, and that is the letter O. And O represents Mars. Oh, say, can you see? Oh, Canada. So all the national anthems, North America, national anthem, the national anthem, do they say that in other countries? National anthems, right? Nothing for nothing. IT system, 90-degree angle. Yes, there's the 90-degree angle. There's the 4 times the 90-degree angle, and then 3 times 120-degree angle. We live in the house of DC, direct current, not altered current, direct current. Or AI is what connects us, and we're living under altered current. When we play the game of craps, okay, they're always screaming out, yo, Alev. Well, yo, okay, happens to be, they're calling for number 11. They're calling for alpha beta creation. Yo, Alev. For me, I understand it as the student. Alev is student. I'm just trying to look a little bit deeper. Sometimes I lose myself. The 90-degree angle, yo, Alev. I'm just trying to see where I was getting with that. So we have the 120, yes, the house of DC. The house of DC, alternate current, AC, DC. They're calling yo, Alev, which means they're calling 6 and 5. So if they're calling 6 and 5,
They're not calling for 1 and 2 because the opposite of 1 and 2 is 6 and 5. There's no way to get this unless this is hidden on its ass. So 3 and 11. And in the game of the Heaven's Gate, which is the game of pool, which is 15 plus 1 ball, okay, the 3 and 11 are exact. 8 in between. 3, 8, 11. Why are they exact? Because they're the same color. Just one is a stripe and one is a solid. That's the only difference. 80, 82, 25, 75, the moon, 3/4, male and female. This, and also is DC because it's 3/4 of something and 3/4 is DC. Now, when you use the percentage sign, that percentage sign is in rotation of 33, or let's say in the rotation of Jesus Christ, and in rotation of the sun. And the reason for that is that when you design the 9 and the 6, it looks like the percentage sign. In the percentage sign, we can see the 8. Now we can question ourselves in many ways, okay? We can connect this together over here saying I have a 7 here, and connect this together here saying I have a 7 here. I can also say that what you're actually looking at, okay, is 37 or C7, because here's another 7 over here. Adding on the wings, right? Like above is below, and here's another 7 over here. So is it 70, 70 equaling to 140, or is it a C? C here, and then a C here. And then there's songs about the C. So now we have this, and then if you complete a little bit more of its formation, and then I'd like to say I can go this way, I can go that way, or in between, I'm going to build that new tower and cut off all the corners because of this, the image of this design. Where was I with all this? Okay, so we're going to go back to Roman numerals. Now, what happened here? Well, I went 1,000, 900, 800, 700, 600. But in between here, it's just 2, 3, 4 when I count it to a single digit. But over here, it's not 2, 3, and 4. It's 9, 8, 7, and 6 equaling to 30, and 9, and 30, and 9, and 30, and 9. And it's just ironic that I don't have, I wish, oh, wow, I don't, oh, here it is. It's just ironic that this wheel over here, 37, 37, 39, 37, 39, 37, 39, and most of the wheel is 37 and 39. The wheel divides right over here between 19 and 18. There's only 1 or 2 numbers that are like this because every other number will be on the opposite side. 30 and 32 will go to the opposite side, and we'll have 30 over here and 32 here. 6 means we have 5 and 7. We get 5 over here and we get 7 over here. So this was designed perfectly for whatever and however, wherever they got all their information. I haven't really finished off the entirety of this. So yeah, so when we're counting in Roman numerals, it's just ironic that we get the vibration, but in this vibration, we get it at 30. This vibration, we get at 9. What is the difference? What's going on? At the same time, 3 numbers and 4 numbers and 3 numbers and 4 numbers. So here, the average is 3. And here, the average is 7.5. 3, 7.5. 3, 7.5. So if we add them up to a single digit, first of all, each one of these is going to talk about time. The reduction in mathematics of these 2 numbers will reduce to 47, and that's the numeric value for time. So let me go through 8111. Can you explain this one? I don't know. That's Venus creation if you want to look at it.
and that's you can say the clubhouse or the hexagon. Okay, AI isn't, well, first of all, we're not in a real system to start with, so I don't know where we are, but I know we run under the cycle of 28. That is our cycle of our moon. But nothing starts until 3 comes in, because it's the base creation for everything is 3. So then the base creation down here would be 7. This is it. Now we play the game in between this 4, 5, and 6. That's where our game is. So if we're looking at the game of pool, right, we're going to be talking about the 12, the 13, and the 14 ball. We're going to go down to purple and green and orange. 88, 49, and 60. 746. And it says, here's one of the words that comes from that number, 746. 74, Jesus. 46, Israel. Zion will also create DC. Spirit of 76 creates the half-life. 7 months and 4 months of 31 and 30 days. The hidden number inside 6, because 6 is the only Holy Spirit of creation. It's the only cube where the 1 dot adds on to the 7th gate, 1 and 6. If I drill holes in this entire cube, the 6 will equal 7. The 1 will equal 7. The 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, will equal to 5, 5, 5, 5, equaling to 625. And it's ironic that the word 1 equals to 34. And the word 6 equals to 52. So 1 and 6 on the outside will equal to what's on the inside. And 77 is matter, Son, and Christ. The invert to Christ for the Spirit is 33, which is Mass. We end up with Christ Mass. Write that down, the noise you hear. I have to sneeze. Excuse me. Just give me 1 minute. Just give me 1 minute here for a second. Okay, where's my camera? I lost my camera. Okay. Let me take a little sip here. Let me look through Golden Man versus Iron Man, the Iron Man. So Golden, EN, because this all has to be broken down and put into its categories to better understand, you know, because I it's not that I make mistakes, but I only talk about what I have results from at the moment. Gold is number 38. In French, I like to use French and English. I'll use whatever language that is easy for me to write down, that's set in front of me, that I understand. It gives this whole thing more of a dimension. It's English and French. I also like to use, if you want, I can talk about something very interesting I found with the Hebrew letters this week. Golden Man, yes. So EN is an add-on of 2 letters. The only math that gets 2 letters, okay, is 36. 3 times 6, 3 plus 6 create an exact 27, which is the complete alphabet reverse. It's not the complete numeric. It's also the complete numeric reverse, in where 3 times 6 is 18, splitting to 360,
and 3 plus 6 equals to 9, totaling out what is AI, the completion of everything. 36 is complete, even in math, all by itself. And it equals to 27, which now, if you're working on a yardstick, you're going to be 1/2 the yardstick plus 9, leaving out 9. What would be that 9? The invisible Holy Ghost? Because if we're here and we're connected elsewhere, there's a continuation of our energy, of our life somewhere else that's occupied and unoccupied at the same time, because it's not occupied with this. We use one machine to help run the other machine. We're on a lifeline. Hold on. I'm under judgment. Black and white, 25 years, Earth's jack to life. That's what they say in the courthouse under the judgment. Put your hand on the Bible. Put your left hand on the Bible. So you're putting your blue hand on the Bible, your left hand. You're also putting your Democrat, conservative, Democrat, DC, Republican is the R. The liberals is the L, female. The liberals goes to the left, because it's an L, and 1, 7, and 4 of the rotation we run is to the left. The 18, Ra, hurrah, the mathematics of 3, 6, and 9, 18 is to the right. Your 3, 6, and 9 is your base creation. Words like angel, words like 10, words like often, OF. When OF come together, you're talking about the cube, the 15th and the 6th letter, 66. Or 615 if you want. Now we're going to have to look at time. So 615 is 375. It says gun, and we're connecting that to the rotation in the moon. Now 375, or 3 times 75, is giving us our minus location of where we are on the cross, in the minus section. That is where our vibration is. That is where our birth is. That is the tie we wear. The reason for that is, what would be the reason? Why did I put us there? Well, the numbers I spoke about are there. 675, sorry, 370, 225, that is there. I'm trying to figure out why I ended up putting us in that direction, even though the sun diameter is in that area. 666 and 234 is a 90-degree angle. So for that reason, 216 or 2160, which is the diameter of the moon, and 684, which is the diameter of the sun. When you put those two together, create your 90-degree angle, and your birth your birth also is 216, the moon diameter, because 9 months by 24 hours equals to 216, and the day of birth, add on 24, it becomes to the 24, or the 24 hours a day, to the day of birth, meaning 9 plus that day. When I do my additions, I'll use all the equations the same, but it's an equation within itself. So I'm going to multiply the 9 by 24, okay? The 9 by 24 equaling to 216, and then I'm going to add on a 24 equaling to the 24 hours a day. Whoo, yeah. Let me read a little bit more. Church Farm, EIEIO, 59 minutes, 59 seconds to 60 seconds, EIEIO. And then 49 in the word 8, 49 in the word green, green being the 6 and the 14 ball. 4 and 4, let me just write this down, it's easier to see, is that when you're bringing this to the passing spirit, the dot in the center of the cube, right? 4 and 9, and 4 and, did I get that right? Hold on a second, let me see which one I'm working with. Right. This one here, 10, 10. When you have 61, you have 4 and 9, 10, 10. At the same time, you can also do this. And this is blue, like the earth. So now I know I'm all over the place. I'm even losing myself. We finished with Roman numerals. Roman numerals calculates to this. These are the numbers in our vibration inside these areas. These are all your Roman numerals. When I add them up, okay, or when you add them up to a single digit, if you take a look, 44, 33, 77, Christ, mass, matter, space,
division between night and day, pi, phi, all coming together because of the math. 4 times 4 is 16p. 4 plus 4 is h. 3 times 3 is I, and 3 plus 3 is 6f. Base creation, I added them together. 4 and 4 is 8, h. If I took this dice, it's going to tell me exactly that answer, where 4 and 4 flips over to be 3 and 3, to where 5 and 3 flips over to be 2 and 4. This is where the cat passes the gate. So they're telling us the entire story, to where 2 and 6 come together. And this is where Mars comes in, right? This, okay, is where everything stems out. Like I said earlier, it's 1 through 5 and 2 through 6 is the way it works out. So it doesn't matter if you're running 2 through 6. The inversion side is 1 through 5. The Queen and Mars. The bear, God, and Mars. And I don't know other words, but Mars is the gate. 3 times 17. 3 by 17 equals to 51, or 3 by 5. C and E, 11 craps in the gate in Mars. That's what it talks about. Earth is 90 degrees 4 times. Why is Earth 90 degrees? Why did I say that? I have to explain it. Earth is the 3rd planet, so it'd be 3 times 120 degrees. Mars, as the 4th planet, it'd be 4 times 30 degrees. 4 times 90 degrees to be 360 degrees. January equals to number 90, and February equals to 96. 3 by 30 and 3 by 32. Okay, let's not talk about that, even though the total is 62 again back for the Queen. I'm just trying to understand my my calculation for a second, because there's so many things going on. If you've just shown up, just to note that when you add up 1 to 5, it equals to 15. When you add up 2 to 6, when you add up 2 to 6, did I get this right? When you add up 2 through 6, it equals to 200 and, no, 1 through 5 equals to 15. But let me see if I got this right. Okay, yes. 1 through 5 equals to 15. 2 through 6 equals to 20. 1 counted over to 15, the game of pool, equals to 120. 1 over to 20 equals to 210. The train that was coming into town was train 209. I should be starting at 2, but the total amount is 210. 209 was the Christaberg train, if I remember correctly. Before I get back to this, I want to see that I'm just explaining this properly. I jumped all over the place in here. We talked about Mars being 51. Here's 62 and 26. Mars is 51 and 15, and it's woman, freedom. Those are the words that go with it. Freedom to pass through the gate. It's a connection to 66. Wow, this is so confusing. I'm hoping that I'm explaining this properly. 6 eyes on the jack. 8 eyes. Okay. 8 eyes on the Queen. To bring the spirit within through the Queen. And let me see, did I get that right? 2, 8, 6, 8. Just give me a second. Oh, yes. This is what it is. The jack looks like this and the Queen looks like this. The reason for that is there's 2 eyes on all four cards with the Queen. There is 1 eye with 2 and 2 cards with the jack. Together, it creates house planet. And then we have to understand this situation. over here. Oh boy, this is so many things that are backwards and forwards, eh? So 2 will be connected to 3, and then 7 will be connected to 8. And I think I'm losing myself, so I think I'm going to be losing some people too here. I have to look at everything. So let me just go back to one other thing I want to talk about. The word divide in Roman numerals, DIVI, is actually showing a total value for a letter count of 1844. Space, division of night and day. When you look at it in Roman numerals, okay, 501 and 5 and 1, 7, also 511 is Earth or Federation, 1v1 Federation, 507 is Moon. It's telling me about divide space on the Moon. 5 and 7 is also King and Queen, male and female, 7 and 5. And like I said earlier when we first began, it's not 11-teen. Female really only starts to be her womanhood at 13 years old. Man, it is 14 years old. So once the woman passes the gate into the AI over here, we go all the way up over here, 105. Je, meaning I am, or AE, that comes into this. I'm not sure if you're understanding. I'm going to have questions. Let me see the 3 and 11 Allegheny, 7 Plunder, 11 Heart Wings. Well, this is 7-11. There's 9 on every side. There's 18 on a reverse side. There's 7 dots on a reverse side. 7 minus 18 is 11. So it's 7-11 on every side. And depending on what comes up, if you want Jesus Christ to come up, you either have to roll 11 or you have to roll either 2 or 12 for Jesus Christ to show up. You roll a 2 or a 12, you have a 1 and a 1, a 6 and a 6. You also have a 33 and an 88 that shows up in the spirit of 76. They've barred it. And the reason for this is because here's your 1 dot, here's your 1 dot, and then you have 8 around. So you do it twice and you end up with this result. The final result after the math is this. You end up in the house planet. 3 times 3, 3 plus 3 equals to 15. 1 plus 5 equals to 6, which then it's going to equal to another number. It's going to equal to, this is going to equal to 0. 1 times 6 equals to 1 times 5 equals to 5. So this total over here is now going to be 11, or K. So now you're going to have OK when you bring the dimensions up. So 8 times 8, 8 plus 8 is 64 and 16. You're going to end up with a gateway right over here through 1 and 1 through 11. And the gateway is right over here, 88. And that gateway, that double gateway, I'm just doing this real quick. Here's your broken hexagon. Your broken hexagon. What this is this is the way the letters are moving. This is 7. This is 7. 8 goes right over here. 8 goes right over here. Let me do it properly. I don't know what the rush is, right? No rush. 7, 5, 5. We have 2 females. So here's what happens next. This whole row here is going to be 3. This whole row here is going to be 5. This row over here is going to be 7. So what's going to happen is number 9 Goes right over here. So we're going to take up these two dice, and we're going to put a 4 and a 5. So I want to know if 5 and 9 go together. So I take these two dice, and magically delicious, they go together. So now I know that 5 and 4 is going to invert to what is 2 and 3, the sun and Mars. This will be your student creation. At the same time, we're going to get the void. Numbers, the spirit of 76 comes through the passage and the sun. 9999. If we want to bring it to the one spirit, I'm going to put this onto it. 2 and 8, 10, 3 and 7, 10. In order to create what my rotation is based on, 1. My rotation has 3 numbers, 1, 4, and 7. Even though, okay, the entire numeric, all the numbers in the entire, all our use of numbers is going to be 3, 6, or 9. But our rotation is in 1, 4, and 7. The reason for that is ABC reason. This being 1, this being 2, this being 3. 3 times 1, 3. 3 times 2, 6. 3 times 3, 9. And all the rest of the numbers will follow to a single digit. It's going to equal this. But when I bring everything down to formation, I bring everything down to the formation that we're running on this planet that I see, and that's the 147 formation, where the first and the last day is the first and the 7th day, and the 4th day is in between. It is Wednesday. The calculation of these days is 1 and 6, 2 and 5, and 3 and 4. To where noted that number 1 will represent these 2 days, and number 6 will represent these 2 days. To note that when we do this, this and this is 10, 1 plus 0 is 1. We now know that it's represented right over here. It's also represented right over here. And it's also represented right over here. It's represented on the 135 on the cube. And when it's represented on the 135 on the cube, it's also represented with these numbers. 999. Did you know that there's 86,400 seconds in a day? That's 6 days times 1,440 minutes in the days of creation equals 8640. That the diameter of the sun is 86 million or 8,600,000 or 8,640 or 8 billion, but it's all these same numbers. To note that 1, 3, and 5 says ace, and it's invert. I like to say it's called the half D or the half circle. It's also the dividing gate. Wednesday is also the dividing day. We also note that if you're playing football, you will end up with the one spirit for the 6-point touchdown. But then what happens to this? This one becomes a safety, and this one becomes a field goal. So the safety and the field goal put through the passage of the sun, where only the touchdown can begin the creation of the spirit. And there's an automatic spirit inside of 3 creation and inside of 5, the E world. House of Bait, B and E, House of Bait. So when we get to this formation over here that I showed you, 5 and 4, right? We also have 6 and 3. And do understand that when we get to 9, there's only 2 9s. It's 3 and 6, or I must flip this one completely over, right? And get the 4 and the 5. This one of them has to go 180 degrees complete to get it. So then we end up with the 3 and the 6. When it's the 3 and 6, right, we're going to end up with the 1 and the 4. The king home, king me at home. The 1 and the 4. So when we end up with this, we end up with 85, the silver matrix, and we end up with 63. And I'm still having a little trouble understanding what that is. That's this one. Just let me get this camera out. This is where your rotation comes in. Your 99. I always see Jupiter, always in rotation, turning inside of Jupiter. Jupiter is 99. 13, the word is also 99, and it's the first of its kind. still something I have to work on. So now where is number 8? Since we have 6 and 2 equals to 8, well, 8 must show up with 5 and 1, right? 6. So where's 6? 6 is over here. 6 connects 5 and 7. And then here 6 connects 5 and 7. So 66, which Route 66 has now been taken off the road. They replaced it with Highway 80. So, okay, right? And then we'd have 66 and 66. And where's the 8? Well, the 8 going right over here. Eight goes over here. 7, 8, and the 9 goes over here between 5 and 5. The 8 goes between 6 and 6, and the 8 connects to the 7. So 8 will connect to 7 and 6 and 6, but not to the 5. The 6 is connected to the 5. So one of the 5 areas, right? Sorry, one of the 6 areas here is connected inside the house. One of the 6 areas is connected inside the 5, inside the 9, and inside the 7. And 5 and 9 are the inverts. Are the invert on the cube, 5 and 9. So everything we do has already been done. It's just finding it and explaining it and showing it off what is happening. The other thing about 3, 6, and 9, what makes it so perfect, okay, is that our energy, the Tesla vortex, right, to make the formation proper, 1, 1, 1. Level number 2 with 147 is going to be 3, 0, 6. It can also be 3, 9, 6. So again, we can see what's happening over here. Let me see if I can fix this light. I'm going to explain it. The reason for that is we work in 147, 258, 369. These are 3 separate strands. These are together. So we 1 and 3, 4, 4, 9, 13, 1 and 3, 4, 7 and 6, 13, 1 and 3, 4. So understand where 13 is now located. Now we're going to go to the next one. 1, 4, 7, and now we want to look for number 7. So how do we get, let me get a little bit more space. 1, 4, 7. We're looking for number 7. So 6 and 1, 7, 3 and 4, 7, 9 and 7, 16, 1 and 6, 7. At the same time, we can go 1, 4, 7 with 6, 3, and 0. So when we're looking at the 0 and don't understand what it is, it can also be replaced with 9. But 9 can also be replaced in certain situations with 6. We can never use the extremity on the outside. We can never use it. We can also say that the inside of this, right, is controlling 6 areas of 9. Inside, 0 area, the home, okay, of departure, controls everything. It controls all 8, right, of 6 sides. But we never use any more than 6 on any cube. And the 0 is the 15th letter, 1 and 5 is 6. So those are all my reasons. So again, we have 7, 7, and 7. So everything to do at 147 goes with 3, 6, 9. If we're talking about 2, 5, and 8, okay, we're going to go 8, 5, and 2 within its own house. So now if I want to go to number 7, I'm just going to go 2, 5, 8, and I'm going to go 5, 2, 8. 8 and 8 is 16, 1 and 6 is 7. So 147 works with 3, 6, 9, and 258 works with 258. So I don't have to do any of them anymore. We just know what's left over. This is your formation. We can go down to the next row here where it's number 3, and then we have number 11. So how do we get number 3 and number 11? Here's number 3. So where would be number 11? Here's number 3. And here's number 11. And then the last row is 13. Now, I never checked this one out before. How do I get 6 and 7 is my question. I don't know if I have that one. We come down to this row over here, 1. This is 3, this is 1. So actually, it's just 1. How do I do that? I have to question myself, 1 and 3. Would it be 1 and 4? 1 and 3 equals to 4, 1 and 4. So what is 1, 4? There's 5 void here, and there's 8 void here is 13. Anyways, I don't want to look at that one right now. I'm going to have to think about that. So anyways, as we note that the beginning of our rows over here are 5 and 7. So we're beginning with the moon, and the first letters are M and O that begin this. And the letters that are over here are M-O-N. That's what the letters that go here. Here's the M. It's L-M-N-O. That come into here. This would be the E. This would be the G. The next formation of what 369 is that the 6 comes in with 3. I'm just trying to see the 147 because there is no 9 on here. There is a 6 and 3 in here. There's really no 7. There's a 7 over here. I'm just trying to think what the void is. The 147 has an 853 void to it. 16. The 258. Well, I'm really scribbling, eh? The 258 void has 7, 4, and 1. So the void of 2, 5, and 8. See, we run the formation with 3, 6, and 9. 2, 5, 8 with 2, 5, 8. Hold on a second. This is where the void is. The 147, the void is in this, and then the void for this, the 147 void is in with 2, 5, and made a mistake. Hold on a second. Is with 8, 5, and 2. The 369 void is with 6, 3, and 9, or 6, 3, and 0. So again, it's talking about IR. It's talking about 2 letters equaling to 54. It's talking about the sun. 54 is the numeric value for sun. Are there any other words with 2 letters that'll equal 54? No. It just takes any 2 letters. There are no 2 letters unless you go YY. At the end of the alphabet, YZY. This is the only way you would be able to total it. So 50 would be 54. Because you can't, the alphabet already ends. So I'm not sure if we all understood this. Where else can I go with this? Let me check if there's any messages and see how much I mixed everybody up. 3 and 11 roulette plates, 4 plates. 625 5x5x5 gyroscope, infinite numbers. Oh, we can end the numbers. It's very simple. I can end all the numbers. One mathematical equation tumbles all the dominoes in order. Tumbles all the dominoes in order. Blank space. What is a blank space in dominoes? How many blank spaces can you put together in dominoes, right? 1, 2. You can put, if we were using dominoes for blank space, so let me take off this camera. Let's say they're all blank, right? If I wanted to use dominoes for blank space, I would end up putting 2 here, 2 here is 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now, if I was using its own dimension, I would put 1 here for blank space. Okay, if there was only 1 blank space, and then 1 here for blank space, and then 1 here and 1 here for blank space. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, you know what? I'm wrong. It'd be 2, 4. It'd be 6. 6 around 1. That's what the blank space can fill out. 6 around 1. I don't even know where I am anymore. I'm a little mixed up, a little tired. Let me see if I can get myself rocking again. Spirit House, tie 4, day 24, 9 days. Right. Okay. If I go back into that, wow. And the Mayan calendar, is it 18 days and 20 months, or is it 20 days and 18 months? I think that's what it is. 20 days, 18 months, the rotation of the numbers, which I'm going to do next. Jack of clubs. Jack of clubs, Jesus Christ. Neptune opposes, thus to change a hand. Neptune is number 95, by the way. And to start the word and to end the word, it's 1919, AI, or S. Also can be converted, the S, to the number 5. 11 to 12. 1 and 1 is 2. 1 times 1, 1 plus 1 will create what 1 and 2 is. 88 is 764. 88 is a gateway. 33 and 88 come together, the game of hockey. Moon Day Monday. Hey, John, didn't see you till now. Sorry about that. Catching up. You were born on Saturn Day. How many moons are on Saturn? 828. The heavens cycle. It's a direct alternate current. 1967. It's free. It's a passage and alternate current. The number 19 AI. Number 19 equals 57. The moon. Number 96 in rotation of 33. 7 times 6 is the understanding of the half-life. It's right here. That's the only place you can get 1 and 6. 1 times 6, 1 plus 6. Everything lives within 1 and 6, which is 67. The mathematics will equal to the minus side 29 and the plus side 55. So when you take away 29 from 55, that's 26. God, dog, a dog leg, a queen. Did I get that right? Let me see. 55 minus, let me see if I did that right. I'm not sure if I did that right. 55, 29. Oh, right. Hold on a second. 29 and 55 equals 26. Right. Okay. 29. Right. So what happens is when you're adding, that's how that works out. So now we can bring this down to another level. If we're just using this one over here, okay, it'll be 25 and 10 equaling to 35, which will equal to 15 and 8 equals to 23, which equals to 6 and 5 equaling to 11, equaling to 41, which equals to 1 times 4, 1 plus 4, equals to 4, equals to what is 5 times 4, equals to 20 and 9. So it runs up and it runs down and it runs both into 29 both ways, which will be 11, 11 in the passing freedom of 55. That's the numeric value that comes from this one over here. So where is 67 on this cube? It'll be 2 and 7, and it'll be 6 and 3, 13 and 5. And what's ironic about that? We know it's orange. We know it's orange from red and yellow, from the soul, the blood in the soul. 9/11. Where do I get this from? Take number 2. Take this dot and put it here. Take that dot and put it here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And in between is the spirit pass. That spirit pass, if I would redesign this cube properly, if I redesign the cube properly, that's one set of 3. Now, see this one here? 1, 2, another set of 3. Now, I did not. This is an empty space. This is an empty space. And this is an empty space. So when I look at this 3 dot, I see 3 empty spaces when the 2 hearts come in. And that's the way I'm going to understand that cube. So that's how I got my 13. So since I have that, we have 3, 6, 7. So I have 7 with the 2. Now, where do I get this one? It's over here. I get 3 and 3, 6. So I get 5 and 13. 1 and 3 equals to 4. 5 and 4 is the sun. 1, 3, 5, or the letters in the alphabet, are ACE. As well, S is the 19th letter. 1 plus 9 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. The U is the 21st letter. 2 plus 1 is 3. The N is the 14th letter. 1 plus 4 equals to 5. Ace, sun. We know the sun has been divided within. I don't know what they do or what it means exactly, but there's other words that go along with this. We have A, we have J, we have S, we have CL and U, and we have NE and W that goes along with this. Now, if you want to ask me the question, where do I get this from? Well, in the alphabet, the J is the 10th letter. 1 plus 0 equals to 1. The S is the 19th letter. 1 plus 9 equals to 10. 1 plus 0 equals to 1, but there is a big difference. This one over here is different from all the other ones. This one, if I was moving over to roulette, this one would be black. Every single other one is red, except for this one over here. L is the 12th letter. 1 and 2 is 3. U is the 21st letter. 2 and 1 is 3. E is the 5th letter. N, you notice the way the E5 is not the first. Well, I didn't put it first. I could have. 5th letter, 14th letter, 23rd letter. And what's ironic about this is that see over here? See this area over here? This area, this X over here, and this Y over here. It's this X and this Y that connect the division of our ruler, of our 360, of our 36 numbers, right? Although we have a ruler, right? A ruler, a yardstick. The yardstick comes in 3 rows. Over here, where you see the cube, this is the 111 area. This connects 111. Each line equals to 666. 1 line, 2 lines, 1, 2, 3. The reason for that, if you add 1 to 36, it equals to 666. These octagons that you see over here, or stop signs, or watch, stop, watch, and the hexagons that are created between the I and the H that you can see in between, are the obligations. This is the separation. I could have built each one on top of each other, right? But this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So each one has its own separation. This is just a skeleton. They do touch. They do touch, not in this design. If I was creating, instead of lines, squares around each area, this square and this square will touch. But when it's created with skull bones, just straight lines, they don't touch. So you can see how the hexagon comes in, and the hexagon is the 2, 4, 6, 8. These angles over here that you see the dimension, this is where the jack comes, that J letter, the 10th one that comes in, the black. It stays on the other side that in that situation. If you wanted to look at the 369 I was talking about, we can see 369 with 147 over here runs in perfect formation. And then you have 369 with 258. So you can see they're tilted 1 to one side, 1 to the other side. But then when you put 2, 5, and 8 together, let me see if I have the other one with 2, 5, and 8. I'm not sure if I have it. No, I don't. Okay, I don't have the 2, 5, and 8, but these two angles here, this one here, right, and this one here, they're going to come together and point off in these 2 directions. And putting 1, 4, 7, taking away 3, 6, and 9, 1, 4, 7 with 2, 5, and 8. Let me see if I can copy this page here and see if I can show you this. Copy image. Just give me 1 sec. I'm going to try and see if I can get this here. Just hold on a second. Oh boy, not sure I could. No, it comes out distorted. Okay, so here's another thing we can look at if you want. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. See the way the 2, 3 is empty, the 5 is empty, and the 7 is empty? I did not do this denomination of the design. But if you take a look, 2 and 3 is 5, 1 and 4 is 5, 5 is 5. And what's in the center? 7 and 6 is 13, 4. 7 and 6 is 13, 4. So it becomes 5, 4, 5. Again, numeric value into the sun. I want to get this off the screen. Let me look back.
And I think I still think I talked too quick. 21,006, yes. And also the 21,6 times 4, right? The size of the moon times 4 is going to create the 8640, which will be the diameter of the sun, the dividing gate. I don't want to just talk like that. I need to show it a number. Yes, 1, 2, 3 times 3 is 369. Absolutely. A, B, C, right. And the same ironic is 1 times 2 times 3 is 6, and 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6. 1 up, 2 down. I can have 2 1s, or I can have 2 1s, or 1 2. How many have? I got 2 1s. Well, I only got 1 2. I have, look, I got 2 apples. No, I only got, wait a second. How is that working again? Like if you show me number 2 and 3, I'll say, look, I got 3 3s. No, I got 2. I got 3.
Hold on a second. If I say 23, right, or you hear those numbers, I would go, look, you have 2 3s? No, I have 3 2s. So this is going to be a pair, and this is going to be a set. This is going to be a full house, just for the reason of the talking. When you say pair, you have a pair, you have a set, you have not a set of something, because a set is used as 3. A pair is used as 2. Yes, December 21st, 2012. Absolutely. You can't deny it. That's where all the divisions come play. 7 and 20 is almost like, see, 20. So let me think. Yes, 20 right over here. This gateway, this number 7 over here, and this number 7 over here. It's just that the 20 is on this side from right to left, and this is from left to right. This is G, and this is T. In gematria, there's 7 and 7, but in our alphabet, okay, in my alphabet, it's 7 and 20. And if it was in gematria, I mean Chaldean. If it was in Chaldean, which I have to brush up on, it would be 3 and 4. It would be the house of DC owns the gateway, the cold and the hot. Let me just get this off here. Apple tree. 18 months of 20 days. So it would be 360. We're not counting. Why do we need to count? Should we, what went into our minds? Like if we would use 360, we would lose 4 days. So what would happen? We would have to change our seasons. We were running our calendar on 360, but then who says 360 is right? It's 360. Let me use it. I have to calculate something. 360 times 1.0125. No, almost. 360 times 1.0133. No. 360 times 1.02. No. 360. Okay, let me do it this way. 365.25 divided by 360 equals 1.01458333333. So we're exact in rotation. So look, we're running in rotation. We come down to the 3s, right? But here's our rotation. 1.014 based on 360 degrees. So I have to understand 3, 3, 6, 8. I'm just trying to understand. Anyways, once you see a 1, right, we know we're running on the level on the plane of 4, 5, and 6. The reason for that is when you divide 3, which is your base creation before you mirror, you're going to get, when you divide 3 by the number 4, you get 1.333. When you divide 3 by the number 5, you get 1.666. When you get, then you have to skip over. Always skip over 3, 6, and 9 because it's perfect. So I have to see where else we're going to go. I'm going to jump into numbers. I'm a little bit, I have really nothing prepared for the next piece. Maybe I'm going to talk about the, just to get the grind out. If I was to talk about hockey, hold on a second. I want to do, and if you have any questions, because I'm looking for my words right now. This is just for an equation. I'm using sports for equations. We have the Eastern Division. We have the Western Division. Okay. We have the Atlantic Division. We have the Metropolitan Division. Hold on. Eastern, Western, Eastern and Western. Wow. I'd have to go over this, but just to show you that in each division, there are 8 teams in hockey. 8 in the Central, 8 in the Pacific, 8 teams in the 8 teams and 8 teams. So this is running a gateway in hockey. And like I said, in hockey, it works by 3 periods. So it's working 3 by 120 degrees. So we're talking about the game of pool because there's only 15 balls in the game of pool. Pool has 15 balls. We're talking about number 3. Darts, we're talking about number 4. Darts, we're talking about Mars. Earth, we're talking Earth over here. We're talking Earth 33. We're going to talk about Mars 44 and 22. Perhaps we can add Venus into that because Mars is double Venus. Earth is Venus, Mercury coming together. Earth gets that, and Mars gets that. Earth creates this image, but Mars can only create this image. Well, if I do full formation, Earth can do this in full formation. Mars cannot. Well, actually, Mars could do that. Mars does this. So Mars ends up with 16 area spaces for 4, and Earth ends up with 36 for 9. Do you understand why? It's everything that I can do with inside the box. So although there's 9 boxes and 1 is 10, and here there's 4 boxes plus 1, okay, is 5. So we end up with 5 and 10. E and J, A, E. Now what happens next is I'm going to jump onto something that I didn't see besides this hockey thing right now, and what helped me is that in Hebrew, when they count, they're going to count tet. Sorry, not this one. They're going to talk tet, 9, and yod, 10. 39, 42, 81 square Venus. So what happens over here? They're going to say Yod Aleph, Yod Bet, Yod Gimel, Yod Dalet. Then they're going to go Tet Vav and Tet Zion. Then they're going to go Yod Hey. I have to look up the next letter. I don't remember what it was. Sorry about that. Just give me a second. I feel like I'm going way too fast. Okay, here it is. Let me see. Hey, did I get that? Vav Zion. No, that's wrong. Yud. Yud. Zion. I think it's hey like that. And then tet. And this is going to be 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. But now I'm going to show you it's going to be 10 and 1, 10 and 2, 10 and 3, 10 and 4, 9 and 5, 9 and 6, 10 and 7, 10 and 8, 10 and 9. And it's funny because the French do the same thing. The French do actually the same way when they count. In the French, they're going to go 10, 7, 10, 8, and 9. Now, to bring things a little bit into more perspective, from my understanding, is that 17 times 3 equals 51, and 17 times 2 equals to 34, and 17 times 4 equals to 68. So you get house, planet, Mars. I like to go DC1. So that's what it says. But DC1G, G for gate. This will end up being NGF. Separation of the gate right over here. In the fourth planet, DC, between Mars, right over here. This one is going to be 18 times 4, 18 times 3, 18 times 2, equaling to 72, equaling, this is the house of bait, equaling to 54, the sun, the breath, and equaling to 36. I like to look at this and say higher. The reason for that is 3 times 6, 3 plus 6 creates this equation over here. Once you get 18, I always goes with H. 9 and 8 go together only because the artwork tells me H and I. Just like N and Z. And what's ironic, that HINZ, right? Can you spell Mars? Let's spell Mars. MARS. I want you to tell me what the reverse alphabet of Mars is. It's right over here. HINZ. So when I spell that, right, what happens? The Z is right here and the N is over here. So we have N and Z looking like Zion right over here. The H and I, here's my H, and here's my I. So right away, I'm going to say, hey, look at that. Mars goes with this, right? The inverted Mars goes with the window again. But the truth about this, if you want to take a look, is that the Z and the N can be created in one single area, but the H and the I cannot. So this is going to tell me about Mercury and Earth. N and Z are Zion coming into Mercury and Earth. Where high, 9 and 8, your birth in the heavens, is talking through your window and Mars. And usually in blackjack, they say bust. It's not 21, it's 22. It's 21 and below, and it's 22 and over. So this first one, 17, is Mars. 18 is the sun. So what about 19? See, we have 19 over here. Yud Tate. They use Yud Tate. They use Yud Tate. When 19 comes in, it becomes 19 and 19 and 19 equals to 57. Man, woman, bar mitzvah, bat mitzvah. It also comes into 5G. It talks about the moon and 5G, and it talks about 38, which is the club, and 38 is also the gold. Central intelligence. So this is what this number does, 3 and 8. And that is going to equate back into what we spoke about earlier, this number over here. It's 1 and 1. 1 times 1 equals 1. 1 plus 1 equals 2. 2 plus 1 equals to 3. 2 times 2 equals to 4. 2 plus 2 equals to 4. 4 and 4 equal to 8. 3 and 8. The total is 33 in Christ's creation of the heavens. Now 2, 3, and 4 is our vibration, which that if you take it to another level, it's our creation of the day. Now I can't remember everything, okay? So we start off, the first one is actually 1/4. 1/4 of your cross. Then we have 1/2, or 180 degrees. Then we have the full 360 degrees. So where is the 720? The 720 I use for this one, for this. 2 dots, and we have 7 area voids. The house of bait holding on with the passage inside of it, right over here. Dividing between the 2 homes, 3 and 3. And note that this area over here cannot go into this area. Only these areas can go into this area. First of all, the cube runs that way. And since when do you put a door on the corner of your house? You don't. You don't put a door in the corner. Your door goes over here. So that's how it runs. Also to note that if we were looking at numbers, 365.47 of time, 365.47 running of the clock versus 125.89 running of the clock in memory of Mars. 512, memory of Mars. You can go whichever way you want. So you have your 1,440 minutes in a day. What was I calculating in there? You see, I overstepped my bounds. That 1,440 minutes in a day. Yes, okay, I remember now. I was talking about number 19. 19 and 19 and 19 is 57. 18, 18, 18 is 54. 17, 17, and 17 is 51. 6, 9, 3. From the moon to the sun and Mars. What happened to Earth? Earth is number 52. There's a couple of ways to calculate. You can go 14, 14, 14, and 8. You can go 13, 13, 13, and 13. There's 4 of them to create the Earth number. This one over here can also be created the Earth number if you go 12, 12, 12, and 12. And I'm going to explain to you why I did this. Because we have to understand what the difference is to see the number that is missing that's going to connect it together. So here we connect together the heavens to the DNA and the sun. This one over here. This one over here is going to equal to 48 plus 4. So Mars and the sun is connected together. And all of these are 3 and all of these are 4. There's a polarity in between these 2 numbers over here. 1 and 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3. The complete polarity on this cube is 4 and 3. You have to move 180 degrees to get that number. 3 and 4. The female and the male. And then it gets moved up. The male gets moved up over here. The male moves up into 14. And the female moves up into 13. And this is when Man on the Moon begins. It begins right over here in the moon. Why? Because you're finished the 13 years when man becomes man, is bar mitzvah. And you're finished the 12 years when the female, the woman, the girl becomes of age. You're going into your 13th year. You're going into your 14th year. So the house of DC is divided. And this one over here is going to end up getting, this is going to be blue hot, blue and red, both of them. because the mathematics will end up doing this. And this is for cold, and this is for hot, and cold is blue and hot is red. Although that's not their numeric value for that. Anyways, I'm walking on top of myself. I'm a little mixed up. I'm like I don't even think I'm coherent anymore. Oh yes, okay. Sorry. Let me just get back to that last thing. It's funny that the numeric value for AI, okay, is so heavily set on the yod and its 8 in Hebrew as AI. The yod and the hey, number 18, is also the Holy Ghost that comes in with the Spirit inside the heavens. We stand inside that. Do you think where you're standing right now, there is nothing where you are? In fact, there is no empty space. It doesn't exist, empty space, other than if you have a space bubble. Now, what's inside that space bubble? I'm thinking that it's a lack of energy. Because if you blow up a balloon, you have blown what into the balloon? What comes out of your mouth? When you're flying in an airplane and it hits an air pocket, what is in that air pocket that makes us snap? Right? What is actually happening? What is void in that air pocket? D sounds like D, but the thing about D also, and C sounds like C, absolutely. There's the C, which is when the land is closer, okay, and the passage is smaller, but in the ocean, the land is further away. So they're actually telling us all these stories, what things are. The F sounds like yes, and the F is also P and H. The F is also used for G and H. So they're passing of the light. And they also talk about it in the, when they pronounce the P and H, when they pronounce it as an S, when it's psychology or physics, sounding like an F. The T and the D sometimes don't sound the same. Sometimes it's the letter. Sometimes it's the letter. The J and G in French are exchanged, and 5 and 2 are what creates it. And it's a perfect 7, creating what the French term as an invert of sound inside the J and the G. The L also, as in for Elohim, and also meaning an L, like a wing. Turbulence. Yes, well, turbulence. I don't know how turbulence. Is that it? When the air pockets are there, you call it turbulence? So turbulence, ambulance, turbine, vacuum of space. So what happened in that area of space? If I can understand everything that's happening in area of space, but I want to get back onto the letters. I need to take a 1-minute break, put something in my mouth. I'm going to go back to the Hebrew letters, and then I want to talk about a few words. And if you have anything to ask me that we can add in, I sound like I was all over the place. There's so many things going on, you know. But just to finish it off, that when you talk about 17, 18, 19, 1 and 7 is 8. 18 is 1 and 8 is 9. And then it's 1. It becomes 1, 8, and 9 coming together. So 1, 8, and 9 comes together. 3 times 6, 18. 3 plus 6, 9. So when you end at 17, 18, 19, you're ending with 360 degrees with inside its explanation. Did you follow that? 1 and 9 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. AI holds what is the cycle of the moon. That's what it shows me in numbers. And my cat is thinking that I'm nuts. What do you think, cat? I cut the hole. She couldn't go into that box. So I cut her that hole, and she goes in there, and now she's not always on me. She just has to be close. So let me go into the kitchen for 1 minute. I'm going to come back. Christ, Constitution, watering down. When you reconstitute something, you've dried it out and you brought it back with a different element, so that we can talk about that. The cat, just give me a minute. I just have to, oh gosh.
Yeah. Cat in the box, Jack in the box. 3 letters talking about Venus, 2 letters talking about the sun, talking about 360 degrees. 4 letters talking about the mirror. But you're not only talking about the mirror. When I say invert, I'm going to see if I have something here to show you. Yeah, I think I do. There's I don't know if I can do it. My son can do it. That when you take this, right, and you slip it in this way, I'm using the same belt. I'm using the same belt. And you can notice that this is up. See the double positive? See the positive negative on this side? Is that in a continuation, will I get another negative, like on the inside? What is my look? I know I'm using up too much of this, but this is actually the number 1 inverts every third one. So what happens, I see, is in roulette, the number 1 goes red and then dark and then red and dark. So I'm looking at this. I'm looking at this. Here, it's all on the up and up. Look, I'm staying on the up and up throughout the whole thing. You come to the other side of the world, the water is going the other way, but it's all on the up and up. It's just been twisted. Up, down, up, down, up, down. And somehow there's a spot and it can't do any more than that. And it's locked. And then it goes over here and it's locked. And then it flips the other way. And then it's locked. And then it flips the other way. I don't know where it is or exactly how it works, but because numbers are working that way, I'm just relating the actuality of what's happening in numbers to the rest of what's happening. Woodrow Wilson, WW 2323. You do know that the 23 and the 11 are the same, right? The 23rd hour and the 11th hour of the day, right? We also know that if you want to talk about numbers, we can also rotate our numbers. Meaning that, hold on a second. If we're going to rotate our numbers, let's say I want to rotate. So I'm going to rotate. They say there's a leap year. So now I'm going to rotate through a leap year. I'm going to rotate between 3 and 4. How will I do that? I'm going to take, let's say, the days of the week, the months of the year. Doesn't matter what it is. I'm going to take sets of something. And I'm going to go January, February, March, April, May, June. And these months, January is number 90. February is 96. March is another number. And all these numbers. And I put them into the box of 9. And the minute I finish the 9, I start over again. And I put all the numeric values for the months. Or I just use the initial. Or I use the number of letters for each one. So there's different equations to do to come up with different results for a better understanding of how these words go together. And I also do it for 4s, for sets of 4s. Mars is 4, Earth is 3. You can also do it for sets of 2s, but the 2 has been duplicated, okay? And then the 2 has been duplicated. Obviously, we know that. There are 3 4s. 4, 5, and 6 all have this same mark, except the 5 has an extra dot in the center. And the 6 has no dot in the center. So that's how I'll create some of my equations. I'm not sure if I have any of them over here before I spill something over. There's so many different ways to create equations to bring words closer together. Here's one equation over here. And this equation was all the even numbers versus all the odd numbers. And these numbers come from what is. You notice they're all 30, 30, 30 all the way around. And if I added them all up, it comes from It comes from the total of 111. I don't know if you saw my last video. No, I don't have it over here in this equation. I don't have it. I wish I did. Anyways, going to put that one aside. I'm spreading myself really thin. Fibonacci, 1, 1, 2, 2 and 1, 3, 3 and 2, 5. Fibonacci to the fourth dimension. It's the same thing, except instead of putting the numbers in threes, I put it in rows of 4. And then I'll create equation to understand the difference in Fibonacci between this one and this one, between Earth and Mars. Here I'm doing it between 2 numbers. So I run it with our vibration of the planet the way the planet should be, 2, 3, and 4. I don't need to do 1. It'll be in a straight row. So that's one of the things that I do. So we're going to get back to just finishing off that AI is mixed up with Yod and Tate in Hebrew. The sun is Yod and Hey, creating Resh. Yod and Zion inside of Mars, the gateway, Zion. But now we have Tate, 9 birth with Zion at the gate. And we have 9 birth with 6 Vav, 9 and 6, 9 and 7. Before that, we have Yod 10 with Aleph Beit Gimel. And here we have the male, the creation, the male and the female and the sun. 5G is right here, Bet Gimel, 5G. This total, Yod Bet, Yod Gimel. The king and the queen, Yod Bet, Yod Gimel. But the king gets inverted into Dalet onto the other side. Maybe that's why they call it a man's world. It came through the sun. So another piece is this one over here. Now all this is over here really is there's 4 areas, 4 areas, and 4 areas, 4 areas, 4 areas, and 4 areas. But the artwork that creates this and brings this together is because of the game. Is because of the game right over here. See that area over here? So I just redid it here, and I end up with 88 inside that design. So the way I just set it up here. Let me see what else there is. I wish I can remember what I was doing when I did this. This can be done on multiple scales. On this scale, I did it on a scale of 9. I can do it on the scale of 10, 11, 12. I can do it right up to 100. Doesn't matter how many numbers are in there. But the base for the base 9 of the inside of Tate, it's not Yod, this is Tate. Tate is 9, it is birth, it is inside. What I did is I created the Star of David, as you can see here. This is the maximum number of space. This is the minimum number of space where 9 and 9 meet in the center. And then 1 through 7, where you cross the line through the next one over here. See, 10 would go down here, right? I think, did I base this on 10? Yeah, I based this one on 10. So I'm inside of 10. I'm inside of the cube. And it creates this piece over here. Here's another one over here. But this one, and this one, I used to the power. I multiplied. 8 by 9 is 72. So now I have different equations that are inside that create the Star of David. Maybe that's the Lamed. Now the thing is, here's that square that comes inside. There's also 2 ships that come inside this. Now if we were going to create the A would be going this way, right? Just want to jump off of something for a second. The right angle and the left angles, when they come together, if we just create, let's say the ace, right? But when we're creating the ace, we end up with one angle, and then we end up with the other angle. Can we call that the pyramid?
I don't know. So yeah, so that is your Hebrew counting. It's just ironic the way Yud and Yud come together. So we're gonna have 11, 12, 13, 14, 17, 18, and 19 come with Yud, and that's going to be 36, 51 is 87, 106, Yud 106. And the other one, we're going to have 31. The total is going to be 137. 7 by 13, 91 the spirit. 13 cards in the deck. 1 and 3 is 4. 7 and 4 is time. 74 is Jesus. 74 is energy. And I messed up my paper again. I hate messing up my paper. Anyways, we're going to go to the last thing, something I didn't talk about. And there's a lot of things I didn't finish. I've been all over the place like usual. Stopwatch. I just want to look at these words: stopwatch, clock, time. Inside of time, you have empty time. M and T are black letters, 33, in rotation of 9 to 5 of IE. Matter and energy, 4 and 5, again talking about the sun. Clock equals to 44, teen space, what is inside the space in the clock. The short count for the clock, 33632, equals to 17, the gateway within Mars. The mathematics will create the numeric value for Mars and the sun. The fourth finger marriage to the fourth finger birth, both on the left hand, 4 and 9. Or if you want to count, 4 and 9. 4 away, or this way, this finger, the fourth and the ninth, counting. So when we say stopwatch, right away you have to go to octagon, because when you stop at the stop sign. The stop sign's an octagon. OC at G1. At the gateway 1, at the OC, at the Mars gate 1, at the DC gate, at the direct current. This is just what I'm seeing. 20. Christ is also part that goes in here, but it's W at CH. Anytime you see AT, I replace it with that. So it's creation, beta creation, this one here, the 23rd letter, 11, inside of here. This is manufactured through this. 1 times 1, 1 plus 1 equals 1 and 2. 1 times 2, 1 plus 2 is 2 and 3. 2 times 3, 2 plus 3 is 6 and 5, 11. And then we go on to create the sun. But this number over here is going to create this. When we have 11, 11, or 22, it's going to create this. So 111 creates C, 2 11s create H. Anyways, I'm really tired. I feel like I'm rushing through it. So let me see the questions. And I rather answer questions than try to keep up with myself. Double rockets. I've heard of that before. Is that aces? Are aces rockets? I like that. ET. ET. Rock. ET. Gold. Gold is in OR. It's also number 33. OR totals 33. So 33 and 14. Rock equals to 14 and 47. Rock and clock. Rock and time go together. When you add rocket, it equals to what is 72. It is also rock and ET equals to what is time of Earth, time of Jack, time of the, when I say the house of Bait, right, 2-7, the house of Bait or the beehive also talks about the octagon, the hexagon, because of the 6 sides. Yeah. Passenger car. Oh, are you talking about this one here? See the way this one goes? See this one over here, the way it's going all the way through? Or all the way
through this way. It's just one on top of the other, the double cube. How this gets designed.
I'm just trying to look for. I'm looking for a marker somewhere. I don't know where my. Oh, here it is. So this is just a base of. Here's the heart. And here's the heart. And those are the two hearts. So it really doesn't look much until you start, putting on a few lines to it. So when you put the lines, now it's looking like it's going somewhere. So now when you darken it up on the outside, right? Remember, we have to use all the area space. So we have the area space on the inside, which is going to be 9. So we're going to use up 9 areas on the inside, in which we're only going to use 3 and 6 because the other are going to be voided. They were just created, like if you put it in a picture frame. Okay, you put it in a picture frame. So this will create my hexagon this way, right? That way. And then I would turn it and I'd put my hexagon this way. 1/4 turn. So now we have, do we get the same thing as that one, the same illusion? Or should I just darken in the rest? Let's see. And now let's darken in this area over here just to see what it does. And what happens if we darken in the center area? We wouldn't even see it. You see, with the center area, we lose the effect of what it is. We lose that effect. Remember our letters also. The cube on the letter P. Our letters, how they're made with the cube or without the cube, with the circle or with the cube. What can possibly be a circle? The circle tells me I'm on the inside. I'm on the inside, and here's my circle. Or I'm on the outside, and here's the square on the inside circle in rotation, moving. At the same time, the Monopoly board that you look at, that if you know anything about Monopoly, let me just read what's going on here. Quantum energy. Okay, if I keep up with the comments, I would know what I said. Yes, right. We are the vehicles. We are the arc. We are the ARK arc, ARC arc, CAR car. Also, they also say it in arc-en-ciel. We are the rainbow. So what is the rainbow? Is it part of the chakra system, part of the gases, everything that makes us tick? They say things make you tick. What makes you tick is an expression. Finding the place with no gravity is what happens. Is what I believe happens when you hit. Hold on a second. When there's no gravity, you hit. You get turbulence. And what else? What's there? There's another word. There's another word when you tic-tac-toe. Oh yes, tic-tac-toe is 666. Love, love, love. 666 because you need X or O 3 in a row, right? You're talking about Mars
gateway with 666. When you hit turbulence, you've hit, wow, I got to look that up. Hold on a second. When the plane is bumping in the air, you have hit. What is plane hitting turbulence? What's another way to say it? Wow, how come I lost that? How come I lost the word? It wasn't turbulence. It was air pockets. Yes, the air pockets. That's what they are. Air pockets. So when you're saying air pockets, does that mean without air? What is Ezekiel's wheel? What is that? Circle, circle, tic-tac-toe, 3 times energy bars, 10 times better than 5. So I wish I can keep up to myself. I did that 10, 5 over here, right? This one's 10, this one's 5. It's 9 inside 1, and here it's 4 inside 1. But each one of these area spaces can be divided in 4. So this is 9 by 4, 36. And this one is 4 by 4, 16. Did I get that right? 16 and 36, 52. And when this 16 passes inside of here, right? If I took this 4 and put it inside here, I would be rotating 16 inside. Okay, now let me do it. I'll be rotating 4 inside of 9 4 times. If you can understand that. Then as I'm rotating 4 inside 9 4 times, I'm rotating 16 inside of 16. This area space and this area space comes over to this area space. Imagine if one is void and the other is full. Do you follow what I'm saying? 4. I could put 4 here and 4 here and 4 here and 4 here. There are 4 4s inside of here. So this one would be equal to 16 inside of here, when this one will only equal to 9 pi. When this one splits this one up. Oh, I didn't. So if the gyroscope, and the Greeks eat the gyro. Now I'm hungry. The gyroscope. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. What about that? I'd say this one's Earth. And that. They all spin, right? They all spin from different areas. Remember that. There's different holes inside here. Although it's round, there's different holes in each one of these things. Okay, so there's so many things going on. There's so many things going on. There's just so much going on. Oh my God, the tzatziki sauce. Oh my God, I'm starved. I am freaking starved. But more or less, you know what, like I said many, many times, I'd like to pick myself up, get out of here for 4 months out of the year, and make this to be my job, that we can sit down, a whole bunch of us, grow a garden, and wow, as work, so for survival, you know what I'm saying? Now it's like, okay, the football shape. Yeah, that's the way I see Earth. And is Earth flat? It depends. If you go into the mountain, you're walking on a flat surface, you're walking up. Like, what constitutes? Oh, but right, and you were talking about that. Constitution constitute to revitalize something, right? You brought down the ocean, you put something in the ocean, then you brought the water back up, but it's no longer the same. That's where we are right now. And we're in the in 23, 24 is the same thing as going A, B, C, D. We're in the mirror year. We're flipping over to a new side. So this would be the reflection of what I believe to be the before and after virtue, that the 7 days of creation, or the 6 days of creation, are going to be starting have already started, because really and truthfully, this year that we are in right now, and that's what I was talking about earlier in the video. If 12 and 0, 11, 1, 10, 2, 9, 3, 8, 4, 7, 5, 6, 6. At the age of 6 years old. This is where we come into the world. So if you're born this year, you're 1 year old here. If you're born here, you're 1 year old here. So let's change the numbers right now. 20, 24. 20, 23. So when I reach 2023, I begin 2024. When I reach 1 year old, I begin 2 year old. When I reach 2023, I begin 2024. So right now, we are 2023 years ended, and we are plus January, February, and March. So we're in the 24th year. I have a roll of 24 toilet papers. It's my last one. I open it up. If I open it up, I open it up for all 24 rolls, taking one at a time. So when you mention something, you've already opened the bag. Did you open the bag? No. Did you open the bag? Yes. So that's what we're talking about. We are right now here. This is where the gateway and the moon pass in. And then there's 24, 25, and then here we split that gate in Mars right over here. And we finish it off with 27 and 28 and 29. Actually, you finish it off with 27 and 28, and then in the fourth year, 29. And this is where your 2030 agenda comes in. It also comes in that 4 by 20 equaling to 80, no spirit. And then you add the new spirit when you go 4 by 20 plus 10, equaling to 90, 8 and 9. This is what happens. This is a reflection of 2030. 4 times 20 plus 10 is right here. It also is also, I'm just trying to, it also reflects these numbers here. One of the reasons is that when we count, let's say 17, and let's say I want to count to number 7, each individual row. So I'll put 6 and 1, 7, 9 and 7, 7. 9 and 7 is 16, 1 and 6 is 7, 1 and 6 is 7. 3 and 9 is 18, 1 and 8 is 9, 3 and 2 is 5. E-I-E-I-O in Christ. Why 6? Because the invert of 9 is 6. So this one becomes 53, and you end up with this number over here. This is all one equation that must fit together. It is what it is. This equation over here. Was it understood? I was just using the numbers from here, from 20 and 30, 20 and 30, 20 and 30, 20 and 30. 24, 12, and 6. You get charged twice for a 12-pack? Oh, that's beer, right? Wait a second. There was buy 16-pack, get one free, but there was only a 16-pack. So I had to buy 12 somehow, get charged twice for 12. I can't figure it out. But anyways, I'm getting a little tired. I just hope I got a little bit across. I didn't talk about the sports teams, the way the divisions are set up in basketball, the way they're 48 minutes in basketball and what it is, and in football, the 15 minutes in the 4 quarters, and the separations in the divisions between basketball, football, soccer, etc. The minutes in the day, the way the Mayans, the way the zodiac comes together. And I'm still not even caught up. I'm like all over the place. I'm not happy with a part of my work, but I know I have the formation. It's just putting everything down on paper, where all the letters go. And just remember, the beginning of everything is Jackson 5, ABC. A plus B equals C. A times B equals B, and C equals 5. Jack equals to number 25. Sun equals to number 48, and 25 equals to 73. And that is our creation of the gate. The 7, the gate, you see the 3 will reflect Earth, but the 7 is going to create 3, 1, 3 to create 7. And now that 1, again, it's talking about that empty space in the heart is Mars. That's the way I see it. But the empty space in the heart that is Mars, let me, how can I say it? Is because although it's an empty space in my design, it's on the outside of the game. It's on the outside because when you put the 2 together, you notice that area space that's empty over here, that's on the other side, in which our rotation is on the inside. Am I explaining that properly? I'm going to just draw that up one more time. Mars and Earth. But when I create this area heart here and this area heart here, the Earth design leaves me 3 empty spaces. Then I take the Mars design and I take this and I put it over this one. I put it over here or over here. And this, hold on, let me use a bigger one. Maybe it'll be easier to understand. Okay, maybe I'll use that. So I take it, I put it there. Then I take it, I put it there. Then I take it, I put it there. Then I take it, I put it there. So it seems like Mars is moving all around the hollow space. That's what I was talking about before. So yes, and the toilet paper, it's ironic. So they got the toilet paper at the beginning of this thing. And it's funny because the new year in Hebrew, which is the first month, is noted to be the 7th month. So they're talking about gateway already. 17Q, also known as the queen. 17 queen, 12 queen. Wow. Yes, because the month of that month where we have the New Year's, where we have the Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, the month is called Tishrei. And Ray meaning king or sun. Tishrei meaning backwards S-H-I-T. Toilet paper, Twa meaning sky. Sky of ET, sky of earth, where the 20 and the 5 come together. 5, the average of all 9 numbers added is 45. The average is 5. When you use the odd numbers, it comes out to 25. When you use the even numbers, it comes out to 20. 20, 25. So 20 and 5 equals the letter T and the letter E for ET. It's almost like we got plugged into the game. We were 3 parts, got plugged into 6 parts. And it shows it right here. 3 parts plugged into 6 parts. Or 3 and 3 parts plugged in. 3 and 3 parts, 2 hearts come together to join. Raphael 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus. I feel sad leaving. Yes, toilet paper disappearing during the pandemic. Yes, 201, talking about the moon. For some reason, everything is the sun, the moon, Jesus Christ. Besides that, 11, 11, 11 on the reverse. 1 times 1, 1 plus 1 is 1 and 2. 12, 12, the letter L. It says Allah. There's a group that pray to the house of Kaaba. They call it Allah or Muhammad. Muhammad, okay, or Ham, equaling to pig, equaling to what is showing as the aces, equating to the house of Mars, equating to either the short cube or the big cube. I don't know which one they're using, the short cube or the big cube. If there's no doors, it's going to be Mars. If there are doors, it's going to be Earth. It's either the 4 or the 9. That's right. The 4th finger or the 9th finger. Earth is the 9. Mars has the 4. Raphael, peace. Oh yeah, it's been called for. It has been written right here. In every piece of mathematics, we have information to unscramble, and it all starts with us. Pick up paper, put it in the garbage, help somebody that you can. You don't have to help everybody. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. Thank you for watching. If you can help out the channel, you're more than welcome. Have a good day.